remember Christine Massof? Christine was an IRD employee for 14 years who was raked over the coals right before Christmas in 2023 for a comment she made on an internal chat for women after her workplace announced they were providing free menstrual products in the female and male bathrooms. Christine says her treatment changed after she posted, "Interesting that now men can menstruate. Free period products are available in all IR bathrooms." She was called to a meeting with her manager and later issued a letter of expectation, instructing her to refrain from sharing opinions that might upset colleagues. She found after a while she could no longer work there, feeling ostracised, and left Inland Revenue. The Employment Relations Authority decided her resignation was not constructive dismissal, ruling she left due to long-standing dissatisfaction with workplace changes. Now, the Free Speech Union is appealing that decision. They say Christine was effectively forced out of her job for expressing a gender-critical view and that her career prospects were damaged. Heck, do I know how this feels. Lawyer Hannah Clough said the appeal will challenge what the union sees as an erosion of speech rights, particularly for women who express sex-based view in environments dominated by diversity and inclusion policies. And it is my great pleasure to welcome Christine Massof to the show. Good afternoon, Christine.
Yeah, good afternoon, Leah. Thank you for having me.
It is lovely to finally talk to you. I followed, obviously, your case. My listeners know I had a similar incident happen to me years ago, a couple of years ago or so. So this really resonates with me. But look, can we start by saying that, you know, I know you've told this story many times, Christine, and probably dozens of times you've gone over it in your head as well. But could you take us back to that original comment that you made on the internet? When you hit send, what did you think was going to happen?
Well, for a while I've been concerned about the gender ideology being imposed on employees at IRD. And people I know are afraid to speak out about it. I mean, you know, just before Posey Parker came, there was a lot of coverage on the Rainbow Network, a lot of very inflammatory coverage, encouraging people to attend protests against Posey Parker's visits. Somebody compared the women attending the Let Women Speak event to Nazis coming out. And that was the only time people on, and that conversation was just completely shut down. But it made me realise that I wasn't the only one at IR that felt that we were having this ideology imposed on us and that we weren't able to say, well, I don't agree with this. I don't believe human beings can change sex. Sex is binary, immutable, and it's important. So when they put that post up about period products being in the men's and women's toilets, I mean, men don't have periods. They don't need period products in the men's toilets.
No, I know that, Christine, but what I want to know, sorry, we're going to get to all of this, but I want to know what was going through your mind when you did it. Were you being ironic? Were you trying to send a message?
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
I thought, well, in some ways it's a good thing. I mean, free anything is good. But
that's true.
I just wanted to point out in a slightly sarcastic way that men don't have periods.
Yes, right. So you sent it, was it women only on this thread, or was it for everyone in IR?
It was the IR Women's Network page, so it was predominantly women. Okay, so it was women talking about things that affect them in the IR.
So it didn't go out to the entire company for everybody to see.
No, and I just thought I'd make a little point about it. And the woman the moderator of the page replied to me. And I just thought, well, fine, you know, she's had her say, I've had my say, and that's the end of it. Really, that's the end of it. I thought it's good to see that she would accept that I can have an opinion. Because the comments after Posey Parker were deleted.
Did she come back and say, Christine, you shouldn't have done this? Or
no, she said, thanks for your comment.
Okay, that was it. So you think everything's fine, but then how did things quickly escalate from there?
Well, that was the 14th of December. And then I had a team meeting that was supposed to be planned, but because it was so close to Christmas, my team leader had cancelled it. But then out of the blue, like Monday, the 18th or something, she said, put that back in your calendar. And she sounded a bit shirty in her email. So it did cross my mind. I thought, oh, could this be because of what I posted? And then I thought, no, you're being ridiculous. That's being paranoid. But lo and behold, when we had the meeting, she came in with such a grim expression on her face, and it was the most unpleasant, horrible meeting where I was just accused of all these things, of being anti-trans, breaching the code of conduct, taking a dig at the gender diverse. Shocked, and I hadn't been told this was anything more than an ordinary team meeting. I hadn't been asked if I'd like to bring a support person, so I was really blindsided by the meeting.
Oh, I know how that feels. So you felt then, was there any room then for discussion, did you feel, or clarification that you could put your point across, or did you feel that they were basically warning you to stay quiet?
Well, it came out in what we went through at the ERA that my team leader had worked out notes with somebody from HR that she went through. So she was reading to a script. So no, it didn't really, I was never really asked for why I made that comment. She seemed to have it all predetermined that I had done what she was accusing me of and that I was all these things. And
Is Inland Revenue rainbow ticked, Christine?
Absolutely. Get constant coverage of their rainbow tick. And in fact, I don't have a copy of the last report from when I was there, but I'm pretty sure that one of the things that mentioned in that was that they were going to be putting period products in the men's toilet. So I guess my comment was sort of slightly thinking, this is motivated for IRs for the rainbow tick. This has nothing to do with women.
No. Okay, so you've said that the atmosphere at work changed after that. Can you describe what it was like going back, into the office, doing what you'd done for 14 years?
Well, I just felt really like I'd been marked. And my team leader, after I went back, I think we might have had one-on-one, that I got a support person from the tax union to come with me because I wasn't comfortable meeting with her on my own. And then there was already a bit of a restructure where I changed teams around about the 12th of February. But basically, from the time I went back to work, my team leader wouldn't meet my eye. She never said good morning to me. I wouldn't have said a word to her the rest of the time until I left IRD. So even from the 12th of February, I switched to a different team. Right. But my old team lead, she was on the same floor. I would see her. Sometimes I'd catch her looking at me out of the corner of her eye. I just felt really uncomfortable. I felt ostracized by some of the other team members who wouldn't, acknowledge me. And
how long did you put up with that for then, Christine?
Well, I gave my notice like around about the 12th of April and finished up on the 3rd of May. I just felt, the other thing is I felt really silenced. I just felt that I was still being exposed to this constant stuff on the intranet from the Rainbow Network about gender ideology. And I just thought, well, I have to.
Were you told at any stage going back to that first meeting, or consequently afterwards, you had to attend any kind of transgender meetings or, sit through some kind of, did you have to meet with anyone from the Rainbow Tick people community?
Like re-education under the Soviets.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, but I was told that I would be monitored going forward. And
okay.
If I didn't comply,
yes,
I'd be monitored going forward. So I just felt that I'd be under scrutiny for
ever. Yeah, the whole time you were there.
Forever.
Did you, interestingly, I was thinking about this because I had the same issue with another company, previous company did the same thing to me. And
I remember what happened to you. Yeah.
Yeah, but what got me, and everything you're saying is what happened to me, is ostracized and no one talked to me and all that kind of stuff. But and I wonder if this happened to you. There were people privately that would say to me when I was like at my locker or somewhere where there was no, like in a hallway where there was no one else, they'd come up and say to me, "Oh, by the way, I actually agree with you, Leah," and then they'd walk away. They were,
yeah,
and they were
absolutely.
they were like managers, but they were still part of it. They never stood up for me in public. They never said to my manager, "Look, you're treating her harshly. She spoke the truth." They were cowards. But I had a lot of people that silently backed me. Did you get that?
Everybody that I showed that comment to couldn't believe what the fuss was about. They just thought it was a pretty innocuous comments.
Yeah.
And after this came out with the emails from the Free Speech Union, I had quite a lot of people get in touch with me that had seen the emails or saw this being discussed on the reality check radio that just basically said, you. People that said that they were too scared to speak out about this issue, but that they agreed with me. So it's a terrible atmosphere of fear about this one issue, which is
Amazing,
just
isn't it?
so bizarre.
But I also meant, did you get support silently in the organisation? Like, did you have fellow workers quietly say they supported
Yeah, that's what
you?
These people were fellow
they
workers.
Were inside in our revenue, right?
Yeah, people that had seen and got in touch with me internally.
Right. Oh, great. I see what you're saying. Now, this is kind of where the thread I'm a little bit confused about is, where did the Employment Relations Authority get involved? What happened after this?